So, with the introduction of the armorer class coming from Claret, I think I can finally start talking about this in public. Uh, with this whole thing of how we seem to be getting a bunch of new stuff in terms of character options since the start of this season. We've gotten 2 new elements and a new class. I'm pretty confident that we're not going to get anything else new on this level, but it is still, what would you say? Like, I find this very interesting in a sense, because I honestly thought that we weren't going to get a new class until next season, but that didn't happen. I am genuinely curious and excited to see how this will all play out. But there are certain things that we have to deal with now, that we have to consider now, that I want to sort of put my thoughts out into the world and see if anyone else has my same opinions about this. So I made this list to kind of showcase that what we kind of already deal with, what we're kind of already dealing with. This is not in any particular order aside from the obvious ones. All of the confirmed order of banners, we have that. In the case of these 2, there's no confirmation there. Same thing here. I'm pretty sure Sunbringer will be in 3.5 or whatever the climax patch is going to be. That's a given. And then of course, after the climax patch, we're going to get an end of the year patch with the idols, or whoever's going to be in this spot. This might even coincide with the Honkai Star Rail collab that we're going to get. And then eventually we're also going to get an S-rank variant of Nicole. All of these things that are on this list are things that have already been seen, or we can pretty much guarantee is going to happen. You might notice, though, that out of the 10 characters that got voice actors revealed, that I'm pretty sure are all going to be available for pools and be playable, we're missing 2 more slots of confirmed characters. Now, the obvious answer would probably be at this point where we just get the other 2 Sunbringers. That seems to be the obvious choice, but we just don't know that yet. But I might as well fill in the gaps here just because it looks nice, and they are the only other 2 characters that seem close to being playable. It just makes a lot more sense. I'm gonna move this around there. So okay, let's assume that all of this is true, right? Well, consider this fact. Because the 2 elements, Wind and Lumen, are now available in the game, as well as the new class, there is now 49 potential combinations that can exist within the game. 49 potential combinations. And if we have a total of 9 patches within this season, that means we have 18 slots for limited S-rank characters that can show up. So the general idea is that if you're looking for a new fire attacker, you have a 37% chance of getting that. Same thing with the new electric combinations, whatever the combination you're thinking of. You have 37% chance showing up in this match. Now, I don't think that itself is the biggest problem, like element combination and class combination. But it is just something I'm thinking about, and it does make me wonder just how are they going to balance it? Because at least for the class combination stuff, you do want some. I do feel like you do want some Rupture agents somewhere in this mix. You probably want another armorer character just to be beside Claret. Just all of this. It's really hard to explain what I'm getting at without going on a long tangent. The overall point is just we're definitely getting to a point where I would like to see how they handle all of these combinations, but either way, I'm not exactly worried about it. It's just something that I was thinking about. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. That being said, now that we have, it is so funny because one of the things I was trying to theorize was what Clarette's class was going to be, and there was, with all the information we were getting, I narrowed it down to either being a defense character or an attack character. But defense character seemed like off the table because, you know, they are not a DPS, and I was thinking that Clarette, based off her personality, was going to be more of an offensive character rather than a supportive one. And of course, you also got Roxy here, who seems like the more support type character between the two. So, you know, electric attack seemed to make sense, but then it also felt weird because we have so many electric attacks, and while I'm sure everyone would say, they would definitely screw over Haramasa, you also got to keep in mind that on top of Haramasa, they gave S-Rank Ambi for free, who's also an electric attack. So it just seemed a little too incorrect to think that they would again release another electric attack right after they presented two of them in this current one. And it just didn't make sense. So it's just funny that, yeah, they solved that problem by, I guess that doesn't really explain why I thought it was an electric character. Yeah, there was some information in the background in leaks that suggested that Clarette might be an electric attacker. It wasn't confirmation or even like straight up said that she would be. It's just something that I was breaking it down for. And so now that we have more options to go off of, now we can sort of look at the rest of the characters and almost reassess what we were expecting them to be. Like, for example, for me, I was thinking that Severian was going to be some kind of electric DPS, but now that we have Clarette here, unless Severian turns out to be something like Electric Anomaly, which is still possible, yeah, I don't think he's going to be an electric anything. The only reason I still stand by that is because his A-rank brother is an electric DPS, and Sissia, who's in the same faction as him, buffs electric damage. So it would be a little weird if the only two characters of this faction that we know of, and by this faction, they are in a different faction than like Seth and them. So it'd be really weird if these two didn't work together, but it wouldn't be the first time where a two-man faction had nothing to do with each other. Mockingbirds. But I'm thinking he might be another element now. But he probably could still be like an Electric Anomaly agent. I don't believe that would be the case since we just got off an Anomaly focus couple of patches. I don't know. I guess it just depends on where he shows up, because again, this is not confirmed that he'll be in this. He could be here for all I know, but just based off of like the different important levels of the characters, I just get this feeling like he's gonna show up sooner rather than later. And if I'm right, then yeah, all that, it just kind of that's why I feel like he would be a different element. Then of course, way back before Lumen was announced, I thought that Storyteller was going to be an Ether agent, an Ether support, because the way she like manipulates the metal, the Porceloy, I'm assuming it's Porceloy, and I'm assuming that she also was manipulating it, but all that kind of made me think that it's got to be some kind of Ether-based move, right? But now that Lumen's an element, I can throw that into the mix and possibly say that she could be Lumen. The only thing that's stopping me ultimately is the fact that Lumen seems to be the light element in this world, and there's nothing about Storyteller that makes me think that she is going to be a light wielding character. The only other thing is that she is associated with Remiel. It seems like they might be in the same faction. But beyond that, I'm not sure. I really hope it's not another Aether support, because that would be kind of wild. I don't think that would be the case. I'm not gonna predict what these two Sunbringers are because I'm not sure yet. I'll have to see more of them, but we do know Little Bringer's weapon is a defense, is a shield. So I'm thinking, okay, she might be a defense class of some kind. What her element is, I have no earthly idea. There's a high chance that Middlebringer is going to be might be an attack-based character. But again, I'm gonna hold off like that kind of speculation until I see more of her. Getting to like, you know, Eldreda Sunbringer. The original idea was that she was going to be a fire attacker, like an ult fire attacker, which the only reason fire came into the mix is because of the fact she is, you know, Sunbringer, fire, all that. But when you watch her fight, and every time we've seen her fight, she's always manipulating Aether in some way that goes beyond anything that we've seen anyone else do. And now I'm not sure. I do think she is still going to be an ult element character of some kind, as most of the Void Hunters have been. But as far as like what her class will be, Armorer seems to be a more expected idea, because there's a lot of reasons for that. But I do think if none of these characters are Armorer after Claret, then it would stand to reason that Eldreda will be the sort of that second representation of the class. And again, it would also make sense. She's not a blacksmith, but she is a tinkerer. So there's a lot of reasons why I think it would make more sense aside from attacker. And then finally, the only character that we know of we could say with a level of certainty that is coming would be Nicole. And originally I was thinking all of the other old characters kept their elements, but no, not but. I'm pretty sure that will be the same for Nicole, that she'll keep her element as an Aether agent. But the original idea was that she would be an Aether anomaly agent. I don't know if anything else would have changed with all the information that we do have. I just want to throw it out there that with Armorer being a thing, that could still be on the table. But it would just depend on how they go about this, because just because the other two ults were DPSs doesn't mean that Nicole will also be a DPS. It would just be dependent on how all that plays out. But yeah, that's kind of it. I really do hope that was engaging or interesting. Like I said, I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, see what you guys think, and then yeah, we'll wait to see as more information comes out about all of this. Also, who are you pulling for between Claret and Roxy? Let me know.